Brian Mudd, and this is my cheat sheet for Tuesday, October 4th. Big day for the iPhone 5 announcement, and there could be a couple surprises today. Here's the danger in me putting together something the morning before the actual announcement, but the whole deal with the iPhone 5 may have really been shaken up by Sprint. Now, I've been telling you for months that one of the changes with the iPhone 5 is that Sprint would have access. But man, until January, there's an outside chance they have the only access to the iPhone 5. Get this. It's now becoming clear that the number of units that Sprint has agreed to buy from Apple over the next 4 years, 30.5 million. 30.5 million. We're talking about nearly $20 billion worth of commitment by Sprint to Apple to get the rights to the iPhone 5. Now, to give you some kind of an idea about this, Sprint as a company right now is worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 billion. They're committing pretty much their entire company and the entire future of their company on this product if the information I came across yesterday is in fact correct. Here's what could end up happening. You could have, from now until the end of the year, a 4GS, just like the 3GS, a souped-up iPhone 4, that would be made available to Verizon and to AT&T. And then everybody would have the opportunity for the 5 come January. Regardless, there's no question at this point that Sprint is going to have the iPhone 5 in addition to the other two. The only question is, are they going to be the only ones to have the iPhone 5 until January of next year? Be an interesting announcement later today. We shall see. Meanwhile, gas prices, good news. You might have noticed this the last couple of times you filled up, the price has been coming down. Now, a little over a month ago, I mentioned that this would start to happen anyway because we're going on to the winter blend. This is all about environmental regulation. There's less environmental regulation and cheaper production costs this time of year rather than the summer. So that's what's going on right now. That's a story for a different day. But nevertheless, that alone shaves typically 10 to 15 cents a gallon off the cost at the pump. The other end of it is, this gets into the good thing about a bad economy is stuff gets cheaper. Overnight, we hit another new low for the price of a barrel of oil at just over $75 a barrel. In real time right now, it's about $77. This is about $10 to $12 less per barrel than we were at this time just last month. And the consequence is we see the wholesale price of gas at about $2.52 a gallon. Let me make English out of this for you. The implied price at the pump in the next week will be $3.15 to $3.20 per gallon on average nationally. We should, over the course of the next month, see gas get down to about $3.10 per gallon. So the good news is the price will continue to come down and should continue to come down at least to that point without oil having to drop any further than it currently is. However, is this a good deal? Well, maybe not. If we take a look at just this time last year, even though this feels better, the truth of the matter is we're still paying a lot more for gas than we were this time just last year. The price today, last year nationally, was $2.72 a gallon. So we're still paying a lot more than we had been. There was good news with the American auto industry yesterday, real good news. Not only did every one of the U.S. companies see an increase in auto sales, Chrysler was another huge winner. Their sales up 27%, but for the first time in well more than a decade, every single American company sold more total units, more total cars and trucks than Toyota, including Chrysler. That is a huge, huge move for Chrysler. And it also shows you that the comeback story of Chrysler is complete, along with the near completed comeback of GM and complete comeback of Ford. So the American auto industry totally has grabbed a renaissance by the horns, and they're doing a good job with it right now. So congratulations to the folks in Detroit who really could use some good news. Hey, the end of the government solar subsidies is over. It ended on Friday. We saw the final loans that were being issued by the federal government. This gained a lot of attention because of the whole Solyndra deal. Nothing controversial happened on Friday. The biggest loan that went out the door was a $2 billion loan, and that's sizable, but it went to First Solar, the largest U.S. solar company, which is already profitable. So it looks like the administration, everybody at the Department of Energy was really cautious in issuing the solar loans. But from here on, the solar industry in the U.S. is on its own. No more government support is implied at this point, so they're going to have to put up or, well, shutter and go away, I guess. And Greece. Good news, bad news on this story. The good news is our government, us, the taxpayers, have under $2 billion in total debt exposure to Greece. The bad news is the rest of Europe could be in real trouble if they go down. That's where the devil meets the details. That's the cheat sheet for today. We'll see you tomorrow.